Hi darlings, I'm back because there's just too much going on since yesterday's video and I want to get this covered because it's just too much of a joke. So this full moon, I covered yesterday, we've got the Sun and Mercury in Gemini on Pollux, and we had a new black moon on Castor. The two twins, 7-7, two 7-year-olds. This is Puck, this is Buck, this is Buck in the ham, this is the rose, this is the pink rose ham, this is the pink panther, I'll be explaining. And we've just got the new OMriCRON MC Orion variant come out, which is, of course, called Centaurus. So, right, Centaurus. Centaurus. Another fast-spreading OMriCRON variant, which is gaining ground in India and has already arrived in the UK. So this is the Senator Chiron, the wounded healer. The Chiron is the key, and we're at the last leg, the last key. The north-south node are the 4 feet of the horse. And we're at the last one, we're at the sword in the stone. And here we go, Chiron, this is the passage, this is where we've got the full moon. So, this is right now, we've got the full moon at 8 o'clock tonight. Go to 30. So we're in this incredible heat here. I've had to get everything done very early, we're now closed in. With all my fans on, you might hear the fans. Let me just make sure I've got all the sound up. Well, I hope the sound is up as much as it can. So I'm going to have this full moon right in the Senator, and today they announced the new variant. So MC Orion, Venus is coming up, OMriCRON to take over Capricorn. We've got OMriCRON, I've covered all that. Just as Saturn's doing his last retrograde and Pluto is conjunct to the moon retrograde underneath Altair, the spinning star, and we've got the wolf in the middle and this Lyra Vega. So a post of Jamie Arthur Pickup, the Cornerstone Cube, Georgia Guidestones. So he does very, very in detail. Okay. To tell my friends not to chat. So one of the very interesting things on this post. So we know MM is 1313. We've just got on the front of Google this morning. So where is that Google? Where is that Google? Well, I've put it here. So we've got this on the front of Google, and this is the James Webb. So JM, Jupiter and Mercury, John Milton. That M is also that W. It's, you know, the Willy Wonka, the Wombles of Wimbledon, the Mickey Mouse, the Milky Way. They're flipping it to MM, mile by mile, man by man. So this has been found today. And it's I'm going to be taking you into this. So it's basically just the milk and honey. Honey is the pineal and milk is the pituitary. They're making one. It's all about the North Polaris. There's the honey. And this is Revelation 21 to 23. We're in that passage we're at 22 in the middle of this. So coming back to Jamie's post. All very clever stuff. So it's about the Georgia Guidestones. So you've got 2014, 2 times 14 is the 4 sevens, 28, the cycle of the moon, jam. So jam is your cranberries, your Ukraine, your cran is your brain, it's your skull and bones. This is Beetlejuice. Cranberry, 2 times 14. You're meant to make the 1111, the armistice, the 11th of November, and we're at 777. They tell you 2 times 14, jam. So on the front papers of the newspaper today, I've just shared these pictures without making it public. So we've got the Milky Way, the bubble, we've got this incredible James Webb, the biggest telescope, JW, John Milton, WM, is showing the Big Bang, the creation of the Big Bang, where we're at. That. So there you've got Elizabeth born in the assembly like Themis that I showed you yesterday. We've got the Little Prince, the English Patient, the pilot, the crash, the motor, the one motor in a crash. So just go through this quickly. We've got Macron doing Uber. We've got, this is where I am, the southwest. We're in the can, the canicule. This means very, very hot. We're in the tin can. We're in Space Odyssey, Space Capsule, David Bowie in the tin can. Can you get out? Can you get out of your tin can? So they've got the cross there on the front, the pharmaceutical green giant, and here we've got jam. This is all about cancer, 69, and they're bringing up 9, the big brother, and the little Gigi. This is the puck, this is the axis. So there's your ham, BUCKinHAM. It's the puck moon today, the sandwich, Cancer, Cali. In mainstream, they've got the sun in Cancer, the moon in Capricorn, as I explained yesterday. So poison de nitrite. I suppose I have to open and see what that is. Nitrite. I have never been able to eat charcuterie. So it's a widely used, thought out chemical and pharmaceutical industries. The nitroanate is a pervasive intermediate in the nitrogen cycle. So here's your North Polaris, the 3 stars. They're making the 3 kings, the 3 points of the star, Polaris, Draco and Vega into 1. The name nitrite can also refer to organic compounds with the ONO group. So I'm sure you can go much. And then look, they've got on the same page, this is what's on the front page, that this is the ham, how you buy ham, charcuterie in France. This is all charcuterie meats. Jewish people don't eat pork, they don't eat pigs. This is Lord of the Flies, Lord of the Rings. The ham is the jam, is the lamb. Lord of the Rings in French is Seigneur des Anneaux, agneau. Okay, coming back to these pictures. So on the front page, so I'll show you that afterwards, dogs are saving people in water. This is Merlin, this is the dog star, this is the Canis Major, this is Sirius, the keeper of the 4 corners, Sirius. So 13 million Danae, we've got the 13th star sign being brought in, page 4, the 4 corners. And it was the opening of Google to get today. So the Tour of France, for 11 seconds, the Danish tribe of Dan, page 13 and 14, he won the 10th etape, say 10, just as Pluto's finishing in Sagittarius. Pisces to Sagittarius is that journey. So there's the last pig. It's the leg of the pig. Remember I showed you yesterday, the day before, Pink Floyd 77 is pigs, and they show you the same as in that film as Children of Men. They take him to his rich friend's flat, and it's those 4 big pillars, as in Catch-22, the film. He's lying on his back with his arms and legs in the air, in bandages, mummied. So the ham is, like I showed you, Grace Jones, La Vie en Rose, Toulouse, the pink town, and dressed in pink and black like Elizabeth, the new PM, Elizabeth Bourne, was dressed in pink and black. I told you, it's just the arsehole. And we're going to see all this in A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's all explained. So the problem is clients want pink, jambon, rose, La Vie en Rose. I showed you Grace Jones. Jour J, Gigi, 77, Grace Jones is the J. NRG becomes NRJ in French. The J and the G is pronounced the same. Everything I've been explaining. So it's all telling you, it gives you Cancer. This is Buckingham Palace. So I showed you, it's a 6-part series. Yesterday was 1/6, like in front of Georgia Guidestones. We got the lorry, Sagittarius, Pluto going into Capricorn, big cars, Gemini's little cars, Sagittarius is big lorries, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, masculine axis, yellow, fire, Sagittarius, red, air, Gemini become one to make orange. So they say the eternal rebirth of the patriarchy, the châtaignier. This is the châtaignier is the tree that gives conkers, the conker tree. The chats, the cats. N is what in my village. N, the N, A-I-G is just pronounced N. It's the egg, the N, châtaignier. So this is all the patriarchal takeover. So we've got a big festival at Carcassonne. Carcass is the skeleton, the bones. This is the journey of the Holy Grail. The Tour de France is going along the Holy Grail. 8 concerts at Cars. Remember Gary Newman, Cars. Okay, we got Medusa up here. So the Danois, the voyage through the Alps, the peak of the mountain. And here we've got this heat. So I showed you yesterday, they've changed it, but yesterday in the papers it was 41, 41, 23, 23 double DNA strands, all for one, one for all, this Saturday, Sunday. So they've got Ubi, this dog, the wolf, the lion, that is the MERLIN saving people in the water today. 33rd Open of tennis in the Isle of Jourdain, page 23, DNA, the Nile, the Jordan Nile, Florence. It's, I tell you all about Florence Nightingale, where I live, the fleur de lys, the flower, Lucifer. So at 24 years old, he takes the Champagne. So 24, 42, 24 heures de Le Mans. And I've been telling you about the Western. I showed you yesterday in my village, the Carchette City 33. And this is Miranda Hart, the Tempest, the Virgo Girl. And we're celebrating Texas, Perry, Texas. They have the biggest festival of country music where I live. So we've got Jazz in Marciac starting as well, and we've got all that country music, and we've got the Latino tempo. A Midsummer Night's Dream becomes A Midsummer Night's Mare. I'm trying to stay very cool here because it's getting very, very hot. So look, it was written in 1595 or 1596. This is that 59, 56, the 56 years that Pluto was in Cetus, the unconscious collective, in the Victorian era, 1876, something like that. That was maybe when Neptune, or it was in the 17th. I've showed you many times. You can go and look it up on Stellarium. Pluto went through Cetus for 56 years. So the play is set in Athens, Greece. This is bringing us back. And it's all you've got the Uranus, the moons of Uranus are of your arsehole, Uranus. This is the king, Uranus and Gaia. Uranus is the father, Gaia is Mother Earth, and the moons of Uranus currently in Aries are the characters. So here's Miranda, Puck, Oberon, Titania, Ariel. This is why they show in the newspapers the country music. It's the dance. It's around the maypole. So to date, 27 moons have been discovered around Uranus. Those named after characters from Shakespeare, the Sword in the Stone, the Cairo. It's the P, it's the X marks the spot. It's the whale's tail, the sword in the stone, the will.I.am telltale, the diving duck, the whale's tail, were right there. So Midsummer Night's Dream. So you got Act 1, Theseus and Hypsipyle. I have seen this a couple of times and I do know the story. But whereby a daughter needs to marry a suitor chosen by her father or else face death. Theseus offers her another choice, lifelong chastity as a nun, worshipping the goddess Diana, but they both deny his choice and make a secret plan to escape into the forest for Lysandia's aunt's house in order to run away from Theseus. Hermia tells their plans to Helena, her best friend, who pins unrequitedly for Demetrius, who broke up with her to be with Hermia. So it's all the characters, and you will know all these stories. So remember bottom, remember just like we've had the Champs-Élysées, the Arc de Triomphe turned into an elephant with just 4 legs. This is the arse, changes the head to a donkey's arse. It's Uranus, Nick Bottom, who is playing the role of Pyramus. So, you know, it's all about, Bottom is told by Quince that he would do the lion so terribly as to frighten the Duchess and ladies enough for the Duke and Lords to have the players hanged. Snug remarks that he needs the lion's part because he is slow and steady. So you can come and read through this. You will join all the dots. But this is Puck Buck. And this is them taking over the solstice, the equinox, the Cancer Capricorn, and taking summer and winter, that fertility axis of the sun and the moon. And that will bring me to... So Revelation 21:23, they are making the moon into the sun, the North Polaris 3 points into 1 Draco. It's all black magic because you are ignoramus. The Milky Way becomes mile by mile, man by man, 2442 heures de Le Mans, man. You are the merging, honey, pineal, milk, pituitary gland, Solomon, seul au monde. Only you, as sun, father, moon, mother, red, blue, JBBJ pillars. The pineal gland, also called pineal body or epiphysis cerebri, is a small cone-shaped, honeycomb shaped structure that extends posteriorly from the 3rd ventricle of the brain. The pineal gland consists of portions of neurons, neurologic cells, and specialized secretory cells called pinealocytes. Okay, you know what I'm like with pronouncing things. So the pituitary gland, you can read that. And 22, but I saw no temple in the city because the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. And the city has no need of sun or moon to shine on it, because the glory of God illuminates the city, and the Lamb is its lamp. By its light the nations will walk, and into the kings of the earth will bring their glory. So, you know, this is the space. This is the Big Bang. We're at that big pop-off, and they're showing us the hexagon, which they put only in 6. The beehive, the beehive we had again in the forest of Compiegne this morning in the heat. We'll have to go and swim. My dog is not taking this heat well at all. Have to be back home latest by 1 o'clock, and we're all shut in now, but I try to get my dogs really wet to keep her cool. I'm giving her aconite 30. Last night she was, you heard her snore in the video yesterday, and she has been doing very big heavy breathing. So they had that Hitler Youth again. I can't remember, I showed it to you in this video. I think it's SM. Yes, that's it. SMU, France Youth. That's not it. It's not SMU. I've got it wrong. It's Youth France training. Anyway, they were all in the forest again, running on their bikes. French National Academy for Youth and Protection. That's not it. Okay, I've showed you in 3 videos. So they're in the forest. They're making all these military sounds, shouting, screaming. They've got the big brothers with all these groups of 15 to 17-year-olds, and they do their bikes, and it all seems good. You know, you create the problem to give the reaction, to give the solution. So children are just war games, videos, virtual reality. So it all seems very good. Get the children into the boot camp, but they're being given programming, cultural programming. They're being prepared to be the new military, to be the new nationalism, to be the new enforced guards, just like we see in the Fifth Elements. And I can't remember right now. She confirmed this morning. I found an English woman actually who was part of the journeys they make through the forest. So our beautiful forest has been cut down and prepared for military training of young people, and all to be one. So, reminder from yesterday, I was talking about I was talking about Thymosis and Armistice. So have I still got them open here? So we've got this new variant. So this new variant, Centaurus, this is Chiron. We've done all this in the videos. And then we've got Armistice. I showed you yesterday. So I'm jumping around, coming back to Castor and Pollux. So we had the new black moon on Castor, Gemini, and now we've got the sun on Pollux. Castor and Pollux are twin half-brothers in Greek and Roman mythology, known together as the Dioscuri. Their mother was Leda, but they had different fathers. Castor was the mortal son of Tyndarus, the king of Sparta, while Pollux was the designed son of Zeus, who seduced Leda in the guise of a swan. The pair are thus an example of hetero-paternal superfecundation, though accounts of their birth are varied. They are sometimes said to have been born from an egg, along with their twin sisters, Helen of Troy and Clytemnestra. In Latin, the twins are also known as the Gemini, literally twins, or castors, as well as the Tyndarus. Pollux asked Zeus to let him share his own immortality with his twin to keep them together, and they were transformed into the constellation of Gemini. The pair were regarded as the patrons of sailors to whom they appear. They were also associated with horsemanship, in keeping with their origin of the Indo-European horse twins. So it's Romulus and Remus. It's the sons of the she-wolf. Yeah, I'm just thinking of the female energy, because when we have here Artemis, she was identified by the Romans as Diana, and the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. So, you know, normally those twins are androgynous, but there's a male and female one. Artemis was the favorite goddess. So this, and Amy Winehouse, remember, killed in Villa-Cotterêts forest on the 20th of November. That's 2, that makes 1111 in the forest of Villa-Cotterêts, which is next to where the armistice was signed. Okay, this is an article I did in 2016, 6 years ago. Mary Magdalene, the Holy Virgin, Whore of Babylon, Sophia, Lucifer, Evil, Lilith. So it's before I was fully back into astrology. And this is my old blog, Victoria Cotton, WordPress. So I can't get into this anymore. It's impossible. I've tried and tried, but you can still see the old articles. So, you know, I was very close on everything. This is about Apollyon, but there was one thing. You come and see this article. It goes very deep. So there we've got Ishtar, and it's the same as Artemis. It's the same. She's always got her little crescent moon. There's George, Saint Martin, Martinstag, Martimas, St. Martin's Day, also known as the Feast of Saint Martin, is that 1111. Amy Winehouse was killed as Eliza Pilarsky, Liza, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Liza, Eliza, like in My Fair Lady, the same thing as Gigi. The Pygmalion, the older man, and the younger daughter, the younger girl. So Sagittarius is taking over the energy of the hunter. You know, the symbol of Mars, Martin, is Mars and Jupiter. Mars has become the arrow when it shouldn't. There is no arrow in the glyphs of the astrology symbols. It should be the opposite of Venus, just a circle with an upright and a vertical and a horizontal line, not an arrow. So he's not the hunter. St. Martin's Day. So this is was a big day. So I was talking all about D'Artagnan. I was all on it. The Solomon, the 322. I was getting all into it. This is 6 years ago. So it's D'Artagnan, where I live, at Lupiac. And there you've got Saint Martin, St. George. It's all the same character. It's, you know, this is Cernunnos, this is the cape, this is Batman. He doesn't have a cap, so he wears a cape. He's got the black berry. And this is the hunt where I used to live in Compiegne. So my daughter was born the day of this hunt. I was dropped off in a horse box by my ex-husband because he was going hunting, so we loaded the horses. I was dropped off in the forest at the hospital. I didn't see him again for 4 days. He was having an affair with women. And I gave birth to my daughter alone, as I did with my son. And my husband was awarded the foot of the deer. And I called my daughter Chloe, the meaning the real spring. And these were our friends. This is Alain Drache of the hunt, his mother Monique Rothschild. She lives in a little hut in the forest with all the dogs. And we brought up our children together. Our children are the same age. So very interesting in my abstract youth of not understanding how I would join the dots later. So there, you know, this is all the femme solaire, the moon goddess being risen as the sun. So this article, I focus a lot on Princess Diana. And I talk about you know, the Pont d'Alma, and this is the Olympic torch. It's the flame. It's the, from the Titans to the Olympians. Yeah, it's very, very, very long and deep videos. But it's, you know, it's basically, it was a hot article because I couldn't put my finger on anything, but you can see I'm saying all the same things. Cranberried, Ukraine, 4664, I explain, Falcon X, everything, and this is 2016. 2016, it's all in here. So most of the videos have been taken away. I had just discovered Lavettes at this time. This is the Charles Dickens Great Expectations, very much that, the unmarried old hag, and she Pip, the little boy, and Gemini with that girl who was very bossy to him. So you've got all the alchemical. I was just working it all out. I just bought the house here, the Amy Winehouse. It was before. This was in 2017. That was the 2017 first crossover eclipse. And I saw it. So this house I bought, it was empty for 50 years. I bought it when I was 50, and this is what was waiting for me in the house where I've got the vortex here, you know. It's me taking pictures. This was Biarritz. They had G7 Biarritz. There she is, looking out into the Atlantic to go from Europe to America, the end of the Holy Grail, where we are now. This is the same as in Jerusalem. Lot's wife. So look, I was right on it all with the Zion. Remember that film, Ursula? There it is. That's in Jerusalem. And at Las Vegas, you've got the same. And I did a lot of writing and a lot of explaining in those days, showing the labyrinth in my village. This is in Bordeaux, the last boot, 33, Bordeaux. So at that time, I was still very obsessed with the, you know, I was getting through the changing sex, which when you see there's Ezekiel, I still hadn't, I was just, there's Aries. Mary Magdalene. This was the great videos of Histros too. He did brilliant, the divine reflection of Mary Magdalene. So this is a very good, there you've got the whale's tail. This is what they're after, the pineal and the pineal, and it's the ark, it's Solomon. will.i.am. And you got all the redheads. I was explaining the redheads, but I didn't really get Venus exalted in Pisces and detriment in Virgo. Two sides of Venus. And then the Mithras opens to the public in London. And the car in outer space, the red car. And there's Dolly. Exactly what's going on now. The lion lies down with the lamb, but we've got Mary Magdalene. Sex and sheep. Planned Parenthood selling baby parts for profit. So, and there she is, Sophia. Las Vegas, this big shooting in Las Vegas. Yeah, I was trying to wake people up. There's the bridge, and there Mary stands at Biarritz. And this was all very big stuff at the time. And here, these are the people of my region on their stilts, just like with the Blackberry, the Dogon tribe. Back to black, back to my region. And yep. So a very, very long article. This will take you a moment to open it all up, because this is the milk, the two twin boys, Romulus and Remus, Venus, and what are they called again? Venus and to Serena, Seren, Celine Dion, Ceres, the moon goddess. Back to Islam, the blaze, MGM, again the older man and the younger girl. It's always, this is the flag of Ush, the dog, the lion. I showed you, I didn't show you, but they've just put up where I am. They've just put the black wolf up in Lupiac next to where I live. The lion, the wolf, the dog, Dogon tribe, the fish, splash, Japheth Ham, back to black. So you've got the three fixed stars, the three Polaris, and this is what I'm saying, Draco, the one in the middle. That's why we've got Ham on the front page today. We've got the ham. The ham gives cancer. Ham. Jambon rose. Jambon is ham, jam, bon, rose, pink, the rose. I showed you, sun, it's the rose, the Tudor rose, back to Elizabethan. The ham. English people are called rose beef, roast beef, rose beef. Lilith and Eve. So when the sun fell in Libra, masculine air, Libra went with Eve. He discarded Scorpio, the eagle, fell to the ground as a scorpion. Lilith, Eve is Virgo. Venus in Virgo is sin. Venus in Pisces is exalted, and now they're rising the bull gods. Taurus to merge with Aries, so that Capricorn and Aquarius and Sagittarius and Capricorn is merging. Sagittarius is taking, we've got the moon in Sagittarius, and mainstream says the moon is in Capricorn. There's that Marie Antoinette, and there's Pip, and Miss Have His Ham, that's what I called her, Miss Have His Ham. And there's the Pink Floyds, the Division Bell, Isis, Ra, that's what I was showing you yesterday. With it's just this merging. I was talking about the Ice Age. I just think there's going to be two extremes. There's the cauldron of CERN, Alice. And here we've got Mr. Tummnus, TAMMUZ. There's Lot's wife, Ophelia. This was the sky red. They showed us the sky red there at the news, 3:33, October the 16th, 2017. It's pointing east at to the descendant, the DC, the white horseman. This is where we're at now. Boom. That's why John Milton, the white horse I've been showing you, white horse, St. George slaying the Milky Way, the dragon, the Pied Piper, lyra, the harp. There, Mercury becomes Mars and Venus merged into Mercury. Mercury becomes the one. Miss Piggy, the ham, Miss Have His Ham. All this new age stuff. It's the pedophilia mark. It's Libra. Fiery serpent on the pole of Lavette's. I was just discovering Lavette then. Our Lady of the Olympic Flame, Fatima, the Mand of Fatima, those hands. I've done lots of videos covering the Mand of Fatima. Mand of Fatima, it goes up or down. It's the cycle of Venus. It's Maurice Cotterell, the very Kosha. There we are. It's the two doves. The two doves and the three become the one eye. Have that hand up or down. So the unicorn is Gemini, Sirius. There's the boot, 33. There is La République. The one-eyed tit, bullseye. This is Bastille, Paris. That's Themis that we covered yesterday, Judgment. And this was in London. We had 5 white women going down, and in Paris for the Gilets jaunes you had women dressed in red cloaks, Champs-Élysées. So the Tour de France is going to finish. You also had at G7 in Cornwall last year, you had women dressed in red or something going on. Women dressed in red cloaks, Champs-Élysées, Gilets jaunes. Gilets jaunes. There they are. You had these 5 women in red in the Republic. Just like the 5 white going down, rose red, rose white. This is a house next to where I live. It's got the unicorn on it. In a village called Anus. And that Wendy Williams, WW, falls. She becomes MM. Red shoes at Harrods. I've got Elizabeth Stewart, Queen of Bohemia. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen. So there's a lot in that article. 1 man, 5 women there. Okay, so back to today. The 20th of November is 1111777, last angle leg. Amy Winehouse, Virgo. Eliza Pilasky, pregnant, killed. Taurus, a pregnant woman has been killed by dogs in a forest in northern France where a hunt with hounds was taking place. The body of Eliza Pilasky, 29, 11, who was walking her own dogs, was discovered near the town of Villers-Cotterêts. So the map of France that I wanted to show you. So to show you where this girl was killed. Joan of Arc was killed, burned in Compiegne. So this is where I used to live. Here are the 3 forests. They're known as the 3 forests, the triple goddess. Here's Paris, Saint-Denis. And you've got in this line right up from Saint-Denis. So you've got Compiegne, and you've got, here's Compiegne, the forest of Compiegne, and then you've got the forest of Laine, Soissons, Villers-Cotterêts. Let's put Villers-Cotterêts. Villers-Cotterêts. The dungeon of Vez. Here's Villers-Cotterêts. So this is in the N. So the N, A-I-S-N-E is pronounced N, and now I live in Aignan. So this was the use of Latin, and as the birthplace in 1802 of French novelist Alexandre Dumas. So the guy who wrote The Three Musketeers, and my engagement ring, I told you, was there's a lover to the great-grandmother of my ex-husband, and I was given the Toi et Moi, which is white gold, white. It was a pearl and a diamond on white gold, so the sun and the moon, and I got that stolen when I was working in nightlife, that engagement ring. So again, this connection where Alexandre Dumas, the museum, so it's right where I used to live. I lived here, Morienval. I lived here in that old church, which is the oldest church in France, 7th century, Mary in the Valley. And it was wonderful because I used to just ride. I knew the whole forest off by heart, and this forest, and this forest. I used to ride everywhere. So you've got the big forest of Senlis, Compiegne, Saint-Jean-au-Bois, Pierrefonds. They filmed the Tomato, that film I showed you, the Tomato crazy film. They came and filmed it here. And the signing of the armistice was here. So the signing of the armistice, Compiegne. So it was 11th of November 1918. The wagon, it was in a wagon, it was in a train. And it happened in Compiegne. So l'Oise, you've got l'Oise and l'Aisne, 2 departments next to each other. 60 and l'Aisne is what department? l'Aisne, department, France. l'Aisne. Do they tell us what number? Because we might have our 61. l'Aisne. Well, they tell us what department. 93 kilometers. She was killed by 93 dogs. They keep changing it, but it was at first. So Laine fut créé en Jean-Charles Laine. So got blue and yellow, Ukraine. And they don't want to tell us what department. Laine, department, France, number. Okay, I had to open a map. So 60 is Compiegne and 2 is Laine. And where's 1? Which is the 1? So I'm here, 32 now. It's where I used to live for most of my life, here in the 60. And where's 1? Is there a 1? 13 is this. 13 is the Bay of Marseille. The baby, the bay, there's the M. 13. 69, 39. Well, I can't see. And then 77 is Paris, of course. Okay. Let's come back to this. So, the body of Elisa, 29, who was walking her own dogs, was discovered near the town of Villers-Cotterêts. CVVC flip-flop. V22C33222223. Viracocha is the great creator deity in the pre-Inca and Inca mythology in the Andes region of South America. Full name and some spelling alternatives are Viracocha. They give the other names. Viracocha is one of the most important deities in the Inca pantheon, as seen as the creator of all things, or the substance from which all things are created, and intimately associated with the sea. Viracocha created the universe, sun, moon, and stars, time by commanding the sun to move over the sky, and civilization itself. Viracocha was worshipped as god of the sun and the storms. He was represented as wearing the sun for a crown, with thunderbolts in his hand. So it's just Jupiter Zeus. It's always at the crossroads. It's the keeper of the four corners, Sirius. This point where we're at, in accord with the Inca cosmology, Viracocha may be assimilated to Saturn as the old god, the maker of time, or Deus Faber, god maker, corresponding to the visible planet with the longest revolution around the sun. So if he's got thunderbolts, he's not Saturn. In Greek mythology and religion, Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness and wild animals, nature, vegetation, childbirth, care of children and chastity. She was heavily identified with Selene, the moon goddess, Celeste, and Hecate, another moon goddess, and was thus regarded as one of the most prominent lunar deities in mythology. Well, the moon is in Sagittarius, so she's being born as this sun gods, the femme solaire. And then I found this woman, Ekashiria, was the personified spirit of truce, armistice, and the cessation of hostilities. She was honoured at Olympia during the Olympic Games, when a general armistice was declared amongst the states of Greece. The armistice of the 11th November 1918 was the armistice signed at the Framport near Compiegne that ended fighting on land. So it's just between Laine and Compiegne. Previous armistice had been agreed with Bulgaria, the Ottoman Empire, and Austria-Hungary. It was concluded after the German government sent a message to American Presidents Woodrow Wilson, WW, to negotiate terms on the basis of a recent speech, and the earlier declared 14 points, all for one, one for all, which later became the basis of the German surrender at the Paris Peace Conference. So she died after several dog bites to the upper and lower limbs and the head. So this was the Amy Winehouse. So pictures. Amy Winehouse with the cut, serious dog, pregnant, killed. The Lost Tomb of Viracocha by Mo'sCOW, Villa Cotterell. Got Cancer, the Crab, the Little Prince, and he did, you've got to look up on internet, Mo'sCOW Venus on YouTube, and he gives his tale of the two sides of Venus, and the tilt of the earth is because of Venus, and that it's all in the Lost Tomb of Viracocha, the secrets of Pascal, the Green Man. Amethyst, Buck Moon today. Histoire d'eau, Paris, Texas. Amélie Poulain with that hairstyle, the same. Again, same pictures. Number 14, Rosemary's Baby, London Grammar, The Princess and the Frog, Ishtar, The Virgin Maria, and again, we've got the TAMMUZ, the Black Madonna, Amy Winehouse, Ultraviolence, Ultraviolet, the green and the purple, Winged Victory of Samothrace, Decapitated and Headed, the Sabre Points, Strawberry, I did the video about the strawberry test to d'Urberville, same as in Paris, Texas. North-South Node, the Milky Way, the two dragons and the sun and the moon, and the passage we're going through. It's all about the voice. 7-7, female, male voice becomes 1. 007, double L becomes 07, one voice, one voice. Black Swan, White Swan, Andromeda, I never pronounce right. Picnic at Hanging Rock, Back to Black, Lady Gaga, and just the black and the white swan, same two people. You see that every single time. Lucifer rising. This is the moon goddess becoming the sun goddess. Isis is the moon goddess. It's the Milky Way. And there's Themis that we saw yesterday. Helen of Troy, Aries, Champs-Élysées, Octopussy, Mr. Tummnus. The umbrella is the diaphragm. It's the jellyfish. It opens and shuts. Narnia, the Eiffel Tower, the lamp or the lamb. Sagittarius and Virgo taking over Taurus as one entity. The bully, the redhead, the MM. Milky Way becomes MM. The umbrella, jellyfish cut. This is what's happening right now for this full moon. The altar, Diana goes up the altar from Sirius to altar. Here's altar, the altar. And the moon in Sagittarius and the sun and Mercury. Apollo and Artemis becomes one bull god. Venus, the ruler, in Taurus. Under Capella, the tip, the goat is sacrificed. Jane Digby, she started all the Saudi Arabia, the Green Man. Sleeping Beauty, Virgo, Dr. Dolittle, Eliza Doolittle, she speaks to animals. Animal Farm, Aladdin, Snow White, Rose Red. And here is where we are, the sword in the stone. The Cairo is just the different movements of the key, and we're at the last one. We're at the last leg. We're at the last two birds. It shows you the 3, 7, 7, 7. P is 9, the 90 degrees. The 7, the L is the 90-degree angle. The opening and the closing of Pandora's box. Ramses, Skull and Bone, and this is what I did see it yesterday on that article I showed you about the Greek St. Nicholas celebration of the new church being risen, they show they show you the Cairo, the Chiron. There's Momo, red and white, Pisces into Aquarius, froze 39 Asians. Got the cow. So you've got the cow is worshipped to one side of the world, killed on the other side, and Mo'sCOW, Mo'sCOW. I showed you Bayswater, Kensington Gardens, Princess Diana Shrine, and the Greek Orthodox Church. And there was a whole load of other things if you go and look. There's the Year of the Tiger, where we are, Poseidon, Kali, Shiva, and Bes, the god of fertility, the same as that mythology of the cat. It was the moon goddess. It becomes masculine, Rumpelstiltskin. It's what in New Zealand they've all got their tongue sticking out. It's Bes, the little prince, and there's Viracocha holding the two pillars. FFF 666, Mona Lisa, old Doctor Who, and the young girl. It's always that one leg missing. Stubbs always shows you just the three legs. The Life of Pi, the tiger, the passage we're going through, N, Aleph Tav, and this passage in the middle. None, it's 14. It's the 14th letter, 314. So the three passages of the Cairo, it's the same thing. And there is the triple goddess being made into one Kali. You need the three to find the last leg, to find the 28 days of the phase of the moon. In that story I read you yesterday in the video, little Mercury kills the tortoise. The tortoise is the moon cycle, 13 moon phases. They want the sun god to have his 13th phase as well. That makes MM, 1313. Brings us back to, well, I'll show you after again. What I just showed you, Jamie's article with the JAM, the MM. So Rachel Blackmore, Gigi, the 99, Laura Collette. So I was saying yesterday, Themis is shown to us as the with her no eyes. Laura Collette's badminton, you will see that she rides with her eyes covered. She was number 70. You'll see in her cross country, she has got her goggles on. Her goggles, her eyes covered. She was number 7, the last leg, riding London 52. That was the people killed in the bombing at King's College, I think it was. There was a group of people in different areas. London 52. Laura Collette, the French woman, wrote Gigi. And there she's got her goggles on, her eyes covered. There she's number 69. They always give them numbers. I don't think these riders are aware. I don't think that they know. Badminton. Two twins with their faces out. 10-6. Alice. Cheshire Cats, Mona Lisa with milk on it, with cream. There's the High Priestess. It's always the same, just like in Dorothy, just like in Star Wars. It's just the North Polaris on the white horse and the 3 other legs. Triple goddess, 3 phases of the moon. Okay. Let's recap to end this. So the big news is for this full moon, we've got Centaurus, a variant of MC Orion, OMriCRON, which is exactly what this moon is on Orion. Orion, we're going to have Venus tomorrow here. Got the Sun in Gemini on Sirius, conjunct Mercury. Going to be tomorrow for the 16th. So we've got this countdown in the newspapers. Started on 1/6 yesterday. I just showed you the pictures as well. The senator, Mr. Tummnus, he was struck by a flesh and he could heal others, but he could not heal himself. So we've got the tiger in this picture here, and he's got the red cape on. So he was overthrown by one of his children. Cronus, the godhead of the Titans, devoured them all upon their birth. In desperation, his wife Rhea hid the sixth child, Zeus, on the island of Crete. So they're bringing up Thetis. So this is the job, this is the true healer is Isis and Scorpio. We're going through this gap. This is, you know, the last key of Chiron. Chiron's going to finish his cycle. I said yesterday he's not yet in Aries. Chiron is still in Pisces, conjunct to Aries. So here's Chiron still in Pisces. Will finish the cycle when he comes to Aries, to the liberator on Aries. There's the key. It's Chiron, the senator. And it's just the Chi-Rho, the sword in the stone, the P on its last journey. It's got those 4 angles of the key for the mutable cross, and it's now at Pisces, the last leg. This is the article in the newspapers today. It's the ham, Islam, his lamb. I showed you Grace Jones in pink and black. This is the rose. It's the white man. It's the pale skin. It's the pink skin. It's the album of Pink Floyd, 77 Pigs. Pink Floyd's. It's Miss Piggy rising with Kermit. And there you've got the same as in Children of Men. He actually goes into a flat, and this is just the upside down legs, the upside down table, the dead dog, as we see in Catch 22. Catch 22 hospital images. There's that famous picture. So, you know, this is, we're at the last leg. We're at the last leg. This is stuff which I haven't even looked into the Tour de France. I know that Lars stated right at the beginning that it began in Denmark, tribe of Dan. So the 10th etape was won at the top of the mountain in Megève, Switzerland, Alps, on Tuesday the 12th of July. By a Danish man, and they show you the different etaps. Here, this is the journey. So the journey's going all around where the 13th, so it's going all around this side of France, and then it comes through here, the Holy Grail, and it will go through the Pyrenees, and you see this, open this image a bit more. So Copenhagen, The Little Mermaid, Hans Christian Andersen, La Planche de Belleville, the Alpe de Huez, until the 24th of July. Started on the 1st to the 24th, so I mean that is absolute madness. Chaos. It's going to go through Cowles, Chaos, Lourdes, and then it will finish in Paris at the La Capelle Mariaval. And I think somebody, in the Champs-Elysees, here we go, the last étape, the 24th, the Champs-Elysees. They can't possibly do all that in one day. That is absolute. And got the Arc de Triomphe. Wow. So there will be so much in every single place and number. One, 3, 6.5. 149. It's 46, 64. And one last leg. The 13th is on Bourdoisan, Oise, l'Oise, is Compiegne, is l'Oise, it's the bird, it's the birds. The hexagon, that's the beehive. On Tuesday the 19th, there's the 1-6, it's going to be at the liver at Carcassonne, exactly where I showed you that festival, the Carcass. That is a big one. Okay, so to recap, the big thing is the ham, the Buckingham Palace, Midsummer Night's Dream, go over it. That, what we were looking at, it goes a lot deeper. There was a lot that I saw. There's a lot about ballet, film. It says here, feminism, loss of individual identity, preposterous pleasures in his essay, ambiguous sexuality, queer theories, alternative sexuality that he finds within the text of the play, as a gay play, but rather explores some of its homoerotic significations, moment of queer disruption, topsy-turvy worlds. Green does not consider Shakespeare to have been a sexual radical. Green writes that the sodomodical elements, lesbianism, and even compulsory heterosexuality, the first hint of which may be Oberon's obsession with Titiana's changeling wards, the context of the culture of early modern England. So, Midsummer Eve. So it's basically the importance of the Midsummer's Nightmare, fertility, Seranus, the ham, the jam. I showed you Jamie. The 14, so it's just the cross, the square. Jam means clock and or time in Indonesian and Malay. Indonesian is the largest Muslim country. Kaaba is from Qibla, relating to space or physical location. XYZ, the symbol for space is a cube, thus the Kabbalah is a cube. So XYZ is the DNA strands. 23. So they always tell us the XYZ. And 22 is where we're at now. And don't forget that all embryos begin as female. All human beings begin female. We fall. So a person's 23. So the human genome is composed of 23 kinds of chromosomes. However, being humans conceived through sexual reproduction. Every child receives 2 sets of 23 chromosomes, one from his mother and one from his father. As a result, every individual has 23 pairs of chromosomes for a total of 46, 64, 49, 96. Of these 23 pairs, 1 pair is responsible for determining sex. The chromosomes in this pair are therefore called sex chromosomes. The chromosomes in the remaining 22 pairs are called autosomes. So you've got the XYZs, B13, mitosis, it's the X. Let's put XYZs, XYZs. Okay, so we've got the Lord of the Flies, Venus, and you see Mars is the flesh when it should be just an upright, as you've got Venus, the horizontal and vertical line has been made into that. So chromosome X, chromosome Y, it is based in the presence of different sex between different individuals of the species. Thus, males have 1 X chromosome and 1 Y, while females have 2 X chromosomes. So, thus having this genetic difference then allows the sexual differentiation of different individuals during development for each cross between a male and a female. The female will transmit an X chromosome and the male either an X chromosome or a Y chromosome. So we're at the Zs, we're at Z, we're at the one race, a whole new, which I covered in a video, the strawberries, explaining how the strawberry fields forever, XYZs, and the 22, so, oh, we saw a little picture there. Heterogamic sex. See, females can make children alone. This is the whole thing. We're losing our fertility now. And 22, 22nd chromosome. 22nd is, and we got ZZ. And the male's homogametic ZZs. That's what my 22 was. So we got 46 chromosomes, and which are 23 pairs. 22 pairs of chromosomes are homolog, and 1 pair is XY. So that's the 22, which are homolog. I'll let you do your research. The front cover of the papers in France is about this nitrites, the N and the 2 O's. Exactly this. I'll put the links. I let you do your own research. I'm thinking aloud. I know it's very messy, but we are in, it's all about negative, positive. Stop nitrates, stop nitrates. And this Lord of the Flies, Piggy, remember what happened to him, the Lost Boys, Seigneur des Anneaux, Lord of the Rings. We're right there, darling. So you join up your dots. This was just to add more information. And sorry if I'm so messy today. It really is just this heat we've got. Sending all my love. Bye.